Greetings, everybody.
We're back.
We're back.
Straight from the hip.
From the hip. Straight from the healing hip.
Yep. It's getting better.
Starting to do a little bit better here.
Like we always like to do to start off the show, right?
Yeah.
Come get some.
Come get some. Timmy, you're a weird son of a gun, but okay. So today what we're going to do is we're going to give our predictions for the final Bills 53-man roster.
Yeah, we've gotten some feedback, some people out of town and stuff that huge Bills fans and stuff, so maybe this will help you out a little bit, and even some of the local people, and we'll give our opinions on what we think might make this team.
Yeah, all I have here is the roster, so I'm not no cheat sheet or anything like that. So why don't we get right into it, Tom?
All right.
I could label this no politics today.
We'll keep it totally out of politics.
Okay, what's going on?
Let the pigeons loose.
Let the pigeons loose?
Yep.
Okay, we're letting them loose. So
Don't quite know what that means.
Put your hats on because they may shit on you.
Right.
These
I don't
pigeons.
quite get that one.
Yeah, just whatever. Okay, quarterback.
Well,
I think they're cutting Allen. No.
That'll be to Josh. I think Josh is coming around and continuing to show improvement. Barkley looks like a really nice backup, and yeah, you'll have two there. And Tyree, the UB kid, probably maybe a practice squad candidate.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a little bit of a limb here, and of course this will be on tape, so you guys will know when I'm wrong, and I usually am. But I think if they can find anybody better than Tyree,
Right.
they'll just waive him and not put him on the
Right.
practice squad. So we'll see.
Depending if there's another young guy out there or something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No arguments there. He should have stayed in school.
I think he should have. He made some problems there. Running back. Let me start on running back, Tom. So I said before and during last week's game that I think LeSean McCoy is done. I think, not done, but as a Buffalo Bill. I believe, just have this feeling, that before the opener we're going to hear that he was either traded for like a 5th or 6th round pick, or he was outright cut to save the cap, which is significant. We'll see. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying he can't play. I just think we have enough talent here maybe that it's time to turn the page. What do you think about LeSean?
He had a couple of nice runs the other night. The Bills kind of put the emphasis on the running game, and the field position obviously didn't help us much either down there. Constantly starting in the inside the 10-yard line.
I know.
But I thought he had a couple decent runs. I'm going to kind of agree with you there. I think if some team needs a running back,
Well, we already know Houston does.
and there might be a trade option there. I think Shady tends to dance a little bit too much. Frank Gore hits the hole even the other night, and this Marcus Murphy, he moves piles.
How do you cut this guy?
I know running backs, I guess, are easy to find and stuff, but that kid moves the pile, and he gets yards after hit.
And he did last year. It's not like he's some fine
Until he was hurt, right?
camp. Yeah.
And he's a special teams guy. So I'm going to say,
So what do you think your guys are?
I don't know. I'm not going to argue with you about McCoy, but if McCoy stays, then I think they'll cut Yeldon and keep Marcus Murphy. So it would be McCoy, Gore, Devin, Singletary, and
Right.
Murphy.
Yeah. And all right, if they keep him, I agree with you there. I think they might keep. I'm looking down the list here. They might keep 5, so that would add on Yeldon or now. Are they going to make this a spot for this Signori Perry?
That's an interesting
Sunrise
thing.
Perry?
That's an interesting thing. They do throw him in the running back room.
They do.
That'll be interesting. I think they like him. He brings a lot of leadership. Again, then I guess they would probably keep him as a special teamer. I don't think he'll ever run football for us. But
No, I got to say this fullback thing.
I think Yeldon's the guy out unless they
I think
trade
Yeldon's
McCoy.
the guy out, yeah. And I'm almost hoping that. I know he's a good receiver out of the backfield, but I've seen enough out of this Marcus Murphy to want to keep him. Christian Wade, to me, is nothing more than the exemption.
Yeah, I think you have nothing to lose there. This kid has only ran the ball 4 times or touched the ball 4 times in the league.
Right.
He's never played pro football, and I think that's a big win. You got the exemption; that's where he'll go. And we got the retirements. If we do keep McCoy, he'll be retiring, or his contract will be up, and Gore, and it might be a spot there. But yeah, Wade's on the practice squad and with the exemption.
You think about DeMarco. I just don't see him using him enough. When you're playing 15-16% of snaps.
He's a special team. I know we keep using this word. They love him on special teams. I think he's a special teams captain. I think he stays for that. To be honest with you, the block, it's not like it used to be in our dad's football with the fullback leading the way.
Right.
And especially when they go pig, we call it pig. That's 4th and an inch. I'd rather see him go 4
Go
wide.
4 or 5
And
wide.
let one of our backs pick a hole, or have Josh keep it himself. But
Yeah.
I think DeMarco makes the team because
I think you're right, by the way. I think I'm one of the few that say forget it, but I think you're right because that's usually the way it goes. Wide receiver. Now this is gonna let's tick off what we know. Brown and Beasley are staying.
right.
Now it gets iffy. Now Zay Jones to me is staying. Okay, but they've used him differently in the preseason, and I still think he's staying.
Well, the eyebrows were raised when he was playing in the second half. I think a lot of that was because field position and the Bills wanted to run the football in the game. They didn't. I don't know how many passes Allen threw. There wasn't many.
No, it was
and I think
3
they
of
wanted.
6.
I think they wanted to get these guys some time. So I don't read into that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zay Jones makes the team with Brown and Beasley, and Foster. I think there's just so much potential there. You can't be too small at that wide receiver spot.
And Foster's a bigger guy.
And he's a bigger guy.
6'2",
Zay's a big guy.
200.
And you need size there. I love McKenzie.
So do I. I don't. You can't. To me, there's no way you can cut McKenzie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think this guy has shown enough. He's great on that jet sweep. You can dump it to him. You can throw it down the field.
Very talented
He's
guy.
special teams guy. So he makes it. So now you get down to some really tough ideas here, right? I think Ray McLeod's gone easily. Stills. Those are the easy ones. But Duke Williams. I mean,
I'm gonna go on a limb here. That same limb you're on. Has to be a pretty strong limb.
yeah.
I think Duke Williams makes the team, and I think maybe Andre Roberts.
he might miss out.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's the guy we got from the Jets who led the league in returns. But we were talking the other day. It's great, but most kickoffs are kicked out of the end zone.
And
So then he's just your punt returner.
and then the punt returns. And how many times do we see?
Block in the back.
Block in the
number
back.
67
Right.
on the return
And
team.
whether it's overappreciated or it's actually happening, it's from the point of the foul. And Roberts isn't going to catch passes for us on this team.
Or they keep 7 wide receivers and they keep Roberts and Isaiah McKenzie,
Yeah, I think
and then they go with Duke Williams.
I think Duke Williams makes the team.
I do too.
I think
so,
in the red zone, especially with some problems at tight end with some injuries and stuff,
Yeah.
that's a nice target. And he's got, McDermott said a few times this year, he wants a little bit of an attitude, a touch of nasty. That's Duke Williams. He's a nasty
I agree.
guy. So
I don't know the CFL rule. He wasn't in the NFL. I assume he could go on the practice squad, but I think he'd be hauled off in a waiver.
I don't know, but about that. But I think he makes the team. I think he's on the team.
Well, I'm going to go and say that we're going to go with, this is just me personally, that 7 wide receivers. And that they keep Andre Roberts. So that'll be interesting, which means I'm looking at the rest of the roster here. We've got to lose a couple people.
Right.
So, tight ends, here we go. Lee Smith. He can't catch a cold, but he blocks.
I guess.
I see a lot of holding calls.
lot of
I don't
hankies.
know. A lot of hankies.
Everybody, Lee Smith, the blocks. I don't see it.
No.
I think the injuries to Kroom opened the door for Tommy Sweeney, and he jumped in.
Yeah.
He's a really good looking
did jump in
prospect.
nice.
And Dawson Knox has so much talent.
Yeah, you don't pick up a move up in the 4th round and get Dawson Knox and say, well, see you later.
And a quarterback playing, he was a quarterback playing tight end. He's super fast. He's big. He's strong. Probably hasn't blocked a whole lot because of the way they played at Ole Miss.
We'll work on that.
And so I think it's Knox, Lee Smith, and Tommy Sweeney.
Tommy
I think
Sweeney.
Jason Kroom.
Kroom's
is
gone.
out there.
Guys and the rest of them are kind of fodder.
Right.
Carter, Becker, and Tobridge.
Right.
Tyler Croft
They
probably
actually
starts on
opened
the
a
pup.
business together, I think.
There.
Yeah.
That's what you think about that.
Connor,
right?
Beckridge, and Tobridge.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds good.
They're going to start a law firm, I think.
Yeah,
together.
Carter, Beckridge, and Tobridge.
Tyler Croft,
Injury attorneys.
He was actually on the golf cart the other day, and a lot of people don't know that it hit the curb and he strained his neck, and
Strained his
it's
toe.
going to be another couple more weeks now.
Well, he'll go on pup, and I think pup means 6 weeks.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's out for a while. So, offensive line now, God, it's so tough because I think they did a great job getting some real talent in there.
Yep.
And then every week it's somebody different banged up. But I mean, let's talk about the ones we're sure of, right? We know Morse is going to make it. We know Deion Dawkins.
Did not know he had that concussion issue.
Yeah, I know.
And that's a tough thing to have, especially as center, because that's a
Well,
lot of...
and Casey was 3 and 4 years.
I did not know that. I mean, we don't
Tough.
obviously get paid to know that, but God, we could sure use him, but he hasn't done anything at all summer, right? I mean, there's been
No.
little contact, and then he got the issue, and they've really been careful with him. That's scary.
It's very scary.
But he's definitely going to make this team. I like what Feliciano's done.
Jose. Yeah.
Jose, and this Ryan Bates kid that they traded for. That was
Bates
a
going
nice
to make
move.
the team.
Yeah.
He's going to make the team. He plays all five positions, right guard, left guard, but he plays all positions. So let's just say, I think this is easy then. It's Deion Dawkins, Quentin Spain, Cody Ford, Mitch Morse, Spencer Long, Jose Feliciano, Ty Netschke, who I'd love to see come back from that knee.
Is he Ray's kid? Ray Nitschke's
He
kid?
is, yeah. It's spelled differently.
Well,
Because
his cousin. Yeah, but he didn't want Ray. Didn't
right,
want
his
to be-
Ray Nitschke's son's mother, well, that would have been his wife. No, Ray Nitschke's son's cousin was a Native American, and he spelled it Nitschke.
Gotcha.
It means
He who run.
anal opening of the eagle.
He who run. Yeah,
So-
Nitschke will definitely make it.
Nitschke will make it. Then I think it gets down to Bates.
Definitely,
And
Bates will make it.
Either DeAndre Wesley because of the swing tackle, or Jerron Jones.
Yeah, Jones is the converted, the Rochester kid that played defensive tackle at Notre Dame, got hurt late in his senior year. The Giants brought him in as an undrafted player, and they switched him to tackle. They like his feet, kind of like the Jason Peters thing when he was a tight end, right? And they converted him to I think he was a defensive player that they converted
was.
to tight end and then
Yep.
offensive tackle. They see a lot of. He's a big guy with good feet. So it all comes down to the injury factor there. That is Spain. Is he hurt worse?
Yeah, nobody's saying much about that ankle.
I think they really want to put forward a guard. But if there's a tackle situation, that's going to swing Cody Ford outside. It's going to be interesting. DeAndre Wesley. Haven't seen much of him. I mean, he's played. I haven't paid that attention to
I
him.
think it's down to him and Jones, and frankly, a couple notable cuts. I think Wyatt Tower's gone.
Yeah, I think Wyatt Tower. He's more. He's not. Again, though, is Spain how severely injured
Right.
Spain is?
We're trying to do this without knowing exactly
Right.
what the injuries are, and I think so. Wyatt Teller probably had 1 year and out for the Bills, and Russell Bodine
Yeah.
just wait bye. In fact, I'll drive him to the airport,
Yeah.
so that's bad. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Defensive end, Jerry Hughes, Trent Murphy, Shaq Lawson, and to me, Daryl Johnson makes it over Yarborough and Love.
No doubt about it. Daryl Johnson, what a draft class by the Bills this year. But this guy's
What a
got some
find.
nice moves, and if you've been watching the preseason games, he's getting time with the ones and twos,
Yes.
and he's not looking out of place there, and he's raw. He played at that North Carolina A&T or something.
Yeah.
And
It's like basically like ECC.
kind of like upgraded just a slight because I think it's a 4-year school instead of
Yeah.
ECC's 2 years.
What are you saying? I went there.
Right. No, I'm just saying it's a little bit of an upgrade from it.
I know. So I think that's easy. I think unfortunately Love and Yarborough and Sammy Acho.
Sammy Acco, he's a veteran player, some leadership and stuff, but
No. Picked up late. He's gone.
Right.
So that sounds good. And you could put Johnson on the practice squad, but I think you bring him right in. He looks
No,
like
he
he's
can
playing.
he can bring the.
Plus, I don't know if you got film on him. I don't know that it gets through waivers.
I tell you what, it's a quarterback-driven league. Obviously, you got to have one, and you got to do something to disrupt their quarterback. He's a long-armed kid. He's a tall kid. He's a big, lanky kid. I think he can do some disruption. He makes the 53-man team.
Every time you see that guy, you see somebody in the backfield, and you look up the number, and you go, "Oh my God, it's him again!"
Right.
Daryl Johnson. Okay, defensive tackles.
Pretty easy, but pretty good.
Yeah, Star Latuale, Ed Oliver, Jordan Phillips, and Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, the Phillip brothers.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
No.
question there. The guys behind him are that poor kid Pico. His wife has cancer.
I think practice squad candidate, and that LT Walton, another monster of a man.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
And he
Maybe
can
he's on
move.
the practice squad.
Yes, I think that's there too.
You got Zoe at linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, who I said it here before. I think you're seeing basically
People
a career of
complain
Pro
about
Bowl.
trading back in to get this guy.
I know.
You're kidding me.
You got to
right?
be kidding me. I think you're looking at an entire career of Pro Bowls.
And now the game's slowing down. It's slowing down for
He's
him to
just
struggle a
reacting.
little bit, and now it's like scratching an itch,
It's unbelievable.
Jersey number 49, by the way.
That's good. Thank you. We got Matt Milano. Ken, what a great fifth-round pick.
Matt Milano.
Now, here's where it comes down. It gets interesting. I really liked what Deion Lacey did all preseason and on special teams last year. I know that he is not your prototypical linebacker, but I really like Deion Lacey. Now, he's going to be in a numbers game. You got Julian Sanford, the kid we drafted 5th or 6th this year, Vosine Joseph. And Maurice Alexander.
You play a 4-3, you're probably going to keep 6.
Oh, and Corey Thompson too.
I think Corey
There's tons of
Thompson
them.
is one of the guys. He's another thing with Corey Thompson. He's a hard hitter, and going back to McDermott and that attitude, Corey Thompson brings that.
Yeah.
So I think
I
Corey
think you're
Thompson
right.
will make
I don't
the
see
team.
cutting him.
Maurice Alexander's a guy that he was an MVP for someone special. I don't know where. Was it Baltimore?
I forgot. I think it was Baltimore, but I
And
forgot
they-
where he came from for sure.
They like him a lot. I haven't seen a lot of him. They like him. It could come down to him and Lacey there. Stanford, they love his special teams.
Yeah.
He could be a surprise too, though.
Vosin Joseph, I guess they're going to come down and say, I know we drafted him this year. Does he provide enough over the guys we've just talked about?
And again, too,
I don't know.
Not to
Practice
sound like we know everything, but everything is. It's not just the games; it's everything in the
Oh yeah,
package.
absolutely.
I haven't seen a lot of Sean Johnson,
I haven't seen
but
Vosin Joseph.
yeah, I think Lacey has played very well. A lot of that late in games.
Yeah, I know.
And,
Although I've seen him come in second team and play pretty well.
Yep.
Second quarters.
He's got some experience. The Bills are in the place now where you might want to err with a vet.
Yeah. Good
where
point.
Years before you
Years
keep a
before,
rookie.
grab the kid. Yeah.
And Lacey could sneak in there. Maybe Stanford's on the bubble, but they like him. I don't know.
me
That's
too.
going to be tough.
That'll be a tough one.
I
I
think
agree. You
it's-
keep 6.
I think it's Corey Thompson. I think Stanford will stay because he has filled in for Edmonds and he hasn't looked lost. And that last spot, Maurice Alexander or Lacey, that's going to be.
Yeah.
That's a throw a hoop around them, right?
Yeah. That's a tough one.
I'm going to take Maurice Alexander there. I think Lacey goes. That's just what I think.
No. I know. I'm trying to think about it. Geez, my mind's eye says Lacey, but I don't know if they love him as much as I think they do.
Right.
So I think you might be right. Safeties is Poyer and Hyde, and I think the kid we drafted, Jaqueen Johnson.
Here we go again. Another draft pick this year. That guy, you can preach all you want about attacking the ball and making these plays, but the attention to detail that guy shows. He's a fierce hitter. 2 preseason games, he got flagged for a late hit, which I really don't think it was one.
Yeah, I agree. At least
He's-
one of them
He's
was.
physical, and the play he made the other night, punching that ball out, basically saved the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you coach it, but that kid can play. He could be a starting safety soon.
I think I
him.
totally agree. I think he's on the squad, and I think.
Unfortunately, Marlowe though would be the odd guy out.
Yeah,
He's
and
a
I think
football
he is
player,
because
too.
they got Coleman, who's the ex-Panther and ex-New Orleans.
And
Saint.
he's
a good veteran, and
Yeah.
he plays well. He knows what he's doing.
and Poyer and Micah Hyde,
Yeah, that's.
fine duo there. But this just Jaqueen Johnson, he's going to be knocking on the door real soon.
I totally agree with you. I think Marlowe and Abraham Wallace. Thank you, but what are you going to do? Cornerbacks.
Again, I think Wallace could be a candidate for a practice squad too.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. I'll keep it going because I'm not sure what the time frame here. We got corners. We know Trey Day, Levi Wallace, Kevin Johnson, Teron Johnson, Captain Munnerlin, and Saran Neal. I think those are your winners. I
Yeah.
think Lewis gets cut, Royce gets cut, Cam Lewis was hurt, and Lafayette Pitts.
McDermott has mentioned a couple of times, gone out of his way to mention Cam Lewis. He was having a really nice camp and got the concussion. And I think you'll see him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
The UB kid,
I agree with you.
I think he'll make the practice squad. When they go out of your way to mention you, I think that's looks good for him there.
I like this secondary. I mean, any one of the corners I just mentioned, you can fill him in a slot. You can play
Unless
him.
Kevin Johnson's another guy with a little bit of history injury, but
If you don't get
solid
injured,
player,
he's
a
solid.
number 1 pick. Levi Wallace, what a fight! And the thing about Levi Wallace, he's long armed,
Lanky.
and he's tall.
Yeah.
And these receivers, we want bigger receivers. Well, you want to get guys bigger to
Bigger
defend.
corners, absolutely.
And let's just hope that Trey Day isn't hurt more than they said with the bruise.
Right.
You can't lose Trey Day. Trey Day
No,
was one.
we absolutely can't. I think it's a quad injury. It's Charlie Horse. So he'll be all right. I think, so then you come down, you and I both said it last week, I don't think the punter's on his team.
I don't think our punter's here, no. The other night we were talking about why Zay Jones was playing into the third quarter. We kept starting with field position. This Berhorquez shanking him off his foot, and then of course the penalties. And
By the way, that was in a dome. I mean, come on, buddy.
I don't know what it is, but I don't. And the other kid was hurt, right? And he didn't
Corey
play.
Carter, he's not going to play.
I
either.
don't think the punter is currently on the roster.
Yeah, Reed Ferguson's your snapper.
Yep.
And I think Hauschka wins this.
Reed Ferguson actually hasn't even been here. They're just gonna bring him in for the opener. They didn't even use him.
Really?
Yeah, he's just you're on the team, Reed.
Okay. Is he over there on Walden Avenue?
I think he is.
Millennium.
Yes.
Okay. So
just go. Don't even worry about it.
are we in agreement the Hauschka stays?
Yeah, Hotchkiss stays.
I think so too.
I think that late hit that the New York Jets pulled on him
Yeah.
threw him off a little bit, but he's still house money. Again, that's charted on all the kicks they do during the day, and I guess he's been pretty good in camp. He, of course, missed one in the preseason.
Yeah.
But
It was a
think
48
he's-
yarder, by the way,
Right.
so it wasn't a chip shot.
I think he's here.
Okay.
I think Hotchkiss stays.
Well, we're filming this on Monday. The final game is
Thursday night.
and we're going to see the cuts. We're less than 2 weeks away from the opener on the road against the Jets, then at the Giants, and then the home opener the day after Mike Capizzi's wedding,
Yep.
which would be the 21st, so the 22nd. The home opener. Mike, glad to hear you're staying
A
home.
lot of talk.
No use spending all that money getting divorced within a week.
A lot of talk about the preseason and the injuries, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I hate